Hi there, it's Emeka Nnadi again. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder and principal of the Nadi Group. Nadi Group is an architecture, urban design, and landscape architectural firm doing projects across North America. It's significantly in the smart city, mixed-use, outdoor hospitality spaces. So there's some significant differences between cities that feel walkable, vibrant, and really just fun to be in versus cities that feel congested and stifled and just difficult to navigate, for example. So in terms of what makes for a great city, the answer lies somewhere within the human experience, so the individual human experience. And you have to think about it this way. When you experience a city, you don't experience the entire city all at once. You experience where you're sitting, where you're standing, where you're walking, the general environment that you're in, and that starts to dictate how you feel about the overall city. So cities that are clearly designed for people, cities that prioritize human space, the pedestrian experience, walkability, nature within cities, and so many other things, inherently feel good to be in. Cities, in contrast, that prioritize transportation routes and freight and large volumes of traffic, but don't focus and dial in on the individual human experience, start to lose that luster in favor of highway commutes and congestion and other forms of sort of urban sprawl that don't support the human experience. Just in a nutshell, there's amazing pockets in almost any city, and we keep talking about city building, but I think it's more community building, because a city is comprised of many different communities or neighborhoods, some of which are great within those neighborhoods. Take, for example, Chicago's Hyde Park on the south side of Chicago. That's a turn of the century neighborhood built right after the Great Chicago Fire, and retail outlets and commercial establishments, small mom and pop restaurants mixed in with townhouse development, apartment style stuff, and a smattering of single family residences all make for some really exciting walkable neighborhoods where you can live and thrive in Hyde Park without ever heading to downtown Chicago. Downtown Chicago is also great for many things, but there are also areas in the greater Chicago area that are very difficult to navigate. So it's hard to just say, here's a city, and as a city, it's bad, and as a city, this other city is good. So a part of a complete community is sustainability and environmental stewardship. And what I mean by that is a complete community involves not just human beings, but an entire ecosystem. The flora, the fauna, the plants, the animals, the urban wildlife that forms part of that complete community. And a thriving complete community in the urban context supports all forms of plant and animal life that contribute to a strong ecosystem. So in practical terms, a strong complete community will have ample urban forestation, or will have ample green spaces and parks, will have ample areas that are not overly manicured but allow flora and fauna to thrive within that and connect those to human activity. Another key element to successful complete communities is walkability and accessibility. This is critical for a healthy and vibrant society and community, especially a healthy and vibrant, multi-layered, multi-generational community. So the accessibility component kicks in when we want to talk about aging in place and allowing seniors within the community to access goods and services within the community. The walkability component kicks in because it's better for the environment, and it allows key services and goods to be accessed without dependence on the motor vehicle or motorized modes of transportation. All of these items create more vibrancy within the social fabric and more health within the human populations. So just the idea of being able to walk to access your goods and services is a form of exercise that doesn't get documented or tracked, but certainly creates longevity and health within these complete communities. And this is something that's been studied for decades and has been proven in many other parts of the world. The third of my principles for complete city development and design is inclusivity and social equity. And what I mean by that is breaking down and preventing community development to occur along affordability lines or income level lines or things of that nature, and providing the opportunity for people to live well within communities that have multiple income levels and social levels at the same time. So again, when you think about historically, missing middle developments achieved just that by providing within one community or within one neighborhood the ability to live as a co-tenant in a shared studio apartment or rental unit of housing, not even a quarter of a block away from a single family detached or attached home that was of a significant size, 2,000 or 3,000 square foot home, and everything in between. Townhouses, apartment blocks, rental suites above commercial or retail, semi-detached duplex, triplex housing, and single family housing, all within one community. And also supporting different income levels and income streams. This type of equity and social inclusion does way more for society as a whole and for complete communities than single zone or single use or exclusive neighborhoods. It allows multi-generations of families or friends or communities to live within earshot, within walking distance of one another. It supports groups, yoga groups, exercise groups, cycling teams. It allows all sorts of social activity to occur within one space. It allows for local mom and shop type commercial and retail establishments to be successful and to thrive even across multiple generations. It allows for the kind of densification of social fabric that only a complete community can deliver. That's why it's so important to not exclude and not create single use or single zone or sort of single price point communities. Resilience is my fourth factor for designing and developing complete communities. In the present context, resilience primarily is intended to address the effects of climate change on community well-being. Resilience has a number of different facets, and I'll give some examples. One example of the need for resilience, let's say, is in energy supply or power, electrical energy. Extreme weather conditions could cause power grids to short or come down and prevent a community from being able to function or operate longer than a few days. A resilient community will have redundancy in access to energy supply. In many cases, it'll have access to renewable energy forms, whether they're solar or wind generated, or what's coming online now is micro nuclear plants that can power all neighborhoods. Any of those technologies would provide a backup layer to energy supply at the community scale that is key to ensuring that these communities can continue to function in the event of a cataclysmic failure of the power grid. Another example of resilience is in terms of food scarcity or food supply. So much of our cities today, so many of our communities depend on food brought in by freight, sometimes food imported from other countries across seas in big cargo vessels. And there are a number of different pinch points where the supply of critical food could be interrupted by extreme weather conditions. So if complete communities do not have access to locally grown, locally farmed, locally distributable food supplies, that puts them at a disadvantage and at risk for not being able to feed the local community. And by definition, that is not resilient. Incorporating local food supply and farming or urban agricultural systems within these communities is critical to really having a good handle on resilience. The supply of water and the management of sewage or septic needs within these complete communities has, for most of our large cities in North America, been entirely dependent on municipal scale utility grids. Any number of cataclysmic events could interrupt the function and operation of those types of utility grids, setting entire communities in a tailspin. So again, the name of the game when we talk about resilience is having multiple systems that create redundancy in how services get delivered. In this case, having backup or even decentralized systems running for each of the separate communities or neighborhoods would be a critical and ideal fashion or ideal solution for creating the much needed redundancy we need and resilience moving forward. So those are just 3 examples of the types of thinking and design that would have to go into future complete communities. My 5th and final aspect of complete community building has to do with sense of place and local culture and identity. Something that we all know very well is the joy of travel. We travel to new places to get new experiences and sort of experience different ways of life and see different things than what we might be used to. Personally, the experience of unique and authentic cultures is what drives me when I travel, and I think it's the same for many of us. Imagine a world where, as much as we traveled, we couldn't get away from the same thing we have in our own backyards, where everywhere we went, everything was identical. That would literally kill the desire to travel for many of us. And if everything is the same, if everything is special in the same way, nothing is special in that same way. So the preceding 4 factors in building complete communities leads us to this point, which is every complete community is different. There's going to be something different about it. The flora, the fauna, the geography, the community, the local culture, the local history, the immigration patterns, the mix and diversity of the individuals. There's always going to be something that makes each community special and different from every other community. And when it comes to designing complete communities, it's infinitely important to sort of source out those unique differences, those unique principles, and elevate them and articulate them and celebrate them, whether it's in public space design or community planning or the look and feel of the architectural resolution, what the homes look like, what the buildings look like. There's many aspects to identity and sense of place that have to be elevated and celebrated and iconized so that each of these complete communities, while they might have a lot of similarities on the technological or technical side, end up coming together in a very novel and unique way. This is critical, I think, to designing and developing complete communities that people really want to live in. One of my absolute favorite projects out of the Nadi Group portfolio that celebrates complete communities would be the 1,400 acre complete community that we designed over the last 20 years called the Neighborhoods of Bridgewater. Now, this is 1,400 acres in central Canada, in the province of Manitoba, in the capital city of Winnipeg. The Bridgewater neighborhoods comprises 3 distinct residential neighborhoods and a 4th neighborhood, which is the town center for the residential neighborhoods. Bridgewater Forest, Bridgewater Lakes, and Bridgewater Trails. with a Bridgewater town center in the heart of these three neighborhoods that creates collectively a very congruent, robust, and complete community. Within the Bridgewater neighborhoods and within the 1,400 acres, there is everything that a community resident would need to live local and thrive. There are townhouses, there are apartment buildings, there are condominium buildings, there's a huge plethora of different retail opportunities. There are parks, there are green spaces, there's over 40 miles of dedicated trailways and walking paths. In terms of accessibility and inclusion, there are, in Bridgewater Lakes, about 50% of all of the homes have been designed with visitability principles baked into them, which is no step, zero step entry, and the ability for someone with visual or mobility impediments to live on the main floors of these houses. This is by design. There are urban agriculture and garden farming. There are plazas and fountains and lots of public spaces that are formal enough to be used for events and neighborhood activities. I'm really proud of that project among many of our other projects because the initial master plan was baked, like I said, about 20 years ago. And over the last 20 years, we've watched that community grow and expand more rapidly than any others within central Canada. And now it's a fully built out, fully grown in neighborhood that is quite lovely to see. Based on the Nadi Group's work in Bridgewater, in June of 2024, I had the honor and the privilege of having a park in Bridgewater named after myself as a testament to the complete community visioning and work that myself and our firm have contributed to that neighborhood. Listen, here's the deal. You're either someone in government, someone in a municipal setting, and you need housing, you need a complete community, you have visions of providing better access for your community, for your residents to complete communities. Or maybe you're a developer in that space. Maybe you're a land developer and you've seen the trends and you know that collectively we have to do better in terms of providing meaningful housing, meaningful communities, not just the homes and the houses and the buildings, but meaningful environments, meaningful communities for people to live in. If you are either one of these two things, give us a call, or better yet, go to www.nadigroup.com and right on the homepage, click the link that says discuss your project and get on a call with us. There's no commitment or obligation. It's a free consult and we'd certainly love to talk to you. Think about complete communities in the context of these 5 principles, whether it's an existing community that you happen to be visiting or passing through, or in your mind, the idea of developing and creating a new complete community. Anytime you visit a new environment, new community, new city, walk through it, drive through it, and think about how well that community has achieved our 5 principles. And if you're really keen on developing or being part of developing a brand new community and you want it to be complete, bring these 5 principles to the table and hopefully you'll be part of making magic happen.